Business Lesson 23, Changing Careers, Book 5, Business English, Vocabulary, Part 1, page 166. What is a metaphor? Why metaphor? A metaphor is a literary device that helps readers understand, pay attention, remember, and act on messages. A metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Lips are volcanoes, for instance. In this lesson, there will be metaphors relating to 1. Airplane, like an airplane uses a runway to build up speed before it takes off and flies. 2. Buildings, you shore up buildings if they are about to collapse. 3. Coin, you flip a coin to show heads or tails. 4. Wildfires, a red flag sometimes gives warning of wildfires. 5. The human body, the gut is part of the human body, the stomach and other digestive organs. 6. Kitchen items, as if you were a sponge absorbing water. Kitchen item. 7. Shops, make a list of what you have or know. Shop metaphor. Vocabulary, Part 2, page 167. Look at the sentences below and match the words in bold to one of the metaphorical areas in the list above. Then use the context to explain what the phrases in bold mean. 1. If you're not even interested in learning anymore, that's a huge red flag that there might not be a future for you in that industry. 2. Career changes are often gut-driven. Then trust your gut. It might be time for that career change. 3. On the flip side, one reason to not move on is short-term pain. 4. If you don't like your boss or people at the office are grating on you, that's actually not a good reason to change your career. 5. That passion and that hunger and that ability to be a sponge really attracts awesome mentors. 6. The second thing you need to do immediately is shore up your finances. When you change your career, you'll either start with a job with a lower title or lower pay, or maybe even no pay. 7. As I made the transition from being an attorney over to a video game creator, I wanted to have at least 6 to 12 months of personal runway in the bank. 8. Do not, I repeat, do not burn bridges. The world is such a small place, especially with all these online platforms, that believe me, you will see these people again. 9. Take stock of what you've learned in your previous career or careers. Most likely, a lot of those things are really applicable to your new job and your new career. Do you have any of the same metaphors in your language? Article Part 1, page 167. How to know if it's time to change careers. Chieh Huang. I was not one of those kids that knew exactly what they wanted to do when they were growing up. In the last 15 years of my career, I've been an English teacher, attorney, video game creator, and now a toilet paper salesman, selling millions of rolls of toilet paper a year. Life is about finding the intersection of what you really, really love with what you're really, really good at. As simple as it sounds, it's really not that easy to find. After a brief stint as an English teacher, I went to law school and ended up becoming an attorney at a big law firm here in New York City. Like most Americans, for the next 2 or 3 years, I was holding on to my job for dear life, working really late hours at a job that I thought maybe I was good at, but certainly not one that I really loved. I then came upon the epiphany that it takes years, if not tens of thousands of hours to get really good at something. I really didn't have a lot of time to waste. This talk isn't for those looking to quit their job because they don't like their boss, or because they had a long day at work. This is for those that are ready to make the completely scary leap into a brand new career. So, as you think about making a career change, here are a few tips I hope you consider, and a few things I've picked up along the way. What are some jobs that Huang has done in the last 15 years? What does Huang think you should try to find in life? What is the significance of the figure, tens of thousands of hours? Part 1. 3 things to think about. First, there are 3 things to think about before you're ready to move on. Number 1. Professional life is about learning. If you're not even interested in learning anymore, that's a huge red flag that there might not be a future for you in that industry. Number 2. Career changes are often gut-driven. If you constantly have sleepless nights where you're wide awake staring at the ceiling thinking, oh man, I can't live with myself if I never try to make this change or if I don't even actually investigate it, then trust your gut. It might be time for that career change. On the flip side, one reason to not move on is short-term pain. If you don't like your boss or people at the office are grating on you, that's actually not a good reason to absolutely change your career, because when you do change a career, you generally have to start from the bottom, and you'll probably feel a lot of short-term pain, whether it's through a lack of salary or lack of a title. Pain at any job is inevitable. Part 2. 3 things to do immediately. So now you're convinced that it's time to change your career. Then there are 3 things to do immediately. First, network, network, network. No one ever builds a career without a good mentor or a good support network. What I mean by networking is getting all the great advice that you can possibly get. Technology has made it so simple to reach out to new people to say, "Hey, I'm thinking about making a career change. Do you have just 5 minutes to chat with me?" That passion and that hunger and that ability to be a sponge really attract awesome mentors and people willing to give you their time to give you some good advice. So go out there and meet new people. The second thing you need to do immediately shores up your finances. The reality is, when you change your career, you'll either start with a job with a lower title or lower pay, or maybe even no pay, especially if you're starting your own business. So going out there and making sure your finances are in order to make the transition less painful is really, really important. Personally, as I made the transition from being an attorney to a video game creator, I wanted to have at least 6 to 12 months of personal runway in the bank. 6 to 12 months might not be the right number for you, but be honest with yourself about what that number should be. Number 3, if you're not ready to make the full jump right at this moment, then get your side hustle on. Side hustles could be anything from volunteering with an organization that's in the new industry you want to go into, could be starting your business part-time on the weekends. It's a free way to get a taste to see if you really love something. Part 3. 3 things you should think about doing right now. So, you're ready to make the move, or maybe you already made the move. Here are 3 things you should think about doing right now. 1. Do not, I repeat, do not burn bridges. You spent years building those bridges. Why burn them now? The world is such a small place, especially with all these online platforms, that believe me, you will see these people again and probably at the most inopportune times. Number 2. Take stock of what you've learned in your previous career or careers. Most likely, a lot of those things are really applicable to your new job and your new career, whether it's interacting with people, playing on a team, or dealing with jerks and assholes. All those things are really universally applicable. You'll find jerks no matter what industry you're in. No one's immune to it. Everyone's got to figure it out, and you probably know how to do it already. Lastly, when you start your new job, you're going to be nervous. But don't worry, take a deep breath, because this is what I want to tell you. You're part of a new team now, and everyone around you is rooting for your success because your success is their success. So welcome to your new career. Listening, Part 1, page 170, script on page 208. Choosing a career is one of the biggest decisions we make in life. It used to be that we chose only one career. People would start a job when they were 18, 19, or 20, and stay in that same career for life. Their career path was quite straightforward. Nowadays, it is normal for people to change careers 5, 6, or 7 times. New technology and globalization mean things change quickly. We need to study and keep up with all the changes. I've had 4 different careers now. I like moving from one job to another. It means life never gets boring. It's much better to keep learning different things in different careers. I have no idea what career I'll choose next. Perhaps one that doesn't even exist today.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope that you enjoyed another lesson of Uncle Sam's American English. These audios are synced with our 4-book series. Contact one of our professors or join our online course by visiting our Facebook page, Uncle Sam's International.